AMD is working on adding their FreeSync Panel Replay feature to DisplayCore Next 3.1.4 Plus hardware. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 Ti is now available for $379, which is 5% cheaper in a month. MSI has revealed their GeForce RTX 4060 series of GPUs. And lastly, we have Inno3D has introduced their GeForce RTX 4070 and 4060 graphics cards with hidden power cables, another company to do so.
This is Tech Track.
So firstly, we have Phoronix just reported this, that AMD prepares a Linux driver for new feature that is the FreeSync Panel Replay. So what is FreeSync Panel Replay? They have described, basically AMD has described that in some instances, the GPU is transmitting repeated frames to the sync without any updates or changes in the content. These repeat transmission are wasteful, resulting in power draw in different aspects of the system. So it will be interesting to see how much power advantage FreeSync Panel Replay has compared to the existing one, of course. So we'll see about that. And as you can see that they have added this, they just added it in the Linux driver. What are the upcoming things we're gonna be getting? So basically, they add structs for FreeSync Panel Replay, add functions to enable FreeSync Panel Replay, add FreeSync Panel DM code. Then we have read replay data from sync, enable replay for static screen use cases, get replay from info from VSDB. So this is the newer version of their FreeSync Panel, which is FreeSync Panel Replay. I wonder how well this will work around, because I have no idea how that would work, but we'll see about that. Next up, we have the MSI Gaming GeForce RTX 4060 Ti 8 gigs that has been launched, basically. And well, as you look at the price, this is the $379. So not the $399 pricing, you're getting $379, 5% cheaper. Same goes for the Newegg version of that, which is again the same GPU but different outlet. You can save $20 here. A similar case, they're going for 5% less, and they don't really tell you how long this, it will stay. Maybe for 30 days, but probably will forever, because they're going down in pricing, and that really makes sense because you need to sell them, right? Nobody's buying RTX 4060 Ti, or there's a very low amount of cards are getting sold compared to what RTX 4080 or 4070 got sold. So obviously they would want to price cut this GPU, otherwise this won't sell. And I don't think 5% cut is enough for this GPU to sell even now. So at least like 20 to 30% cut, and that maybe people might consider, but who knows. So we'll see about that. And next up, basically what I've shown you, those MSI cards. These are the cards that you saw every picture of it. We have a much more clear pictures here, and as you can see, they don't really have any RGB here. It's really plain for the 4060 Ti. I wonder why didn't they add any 4060 Ti or 4060 for the RGB. So this is the 4060 we are looking at, and well, these 4060s don't really have RGB, and they look very slick, very minimalistic. And well, yeah, this is the Gaming X version, as you can see. And we also have the specs for the clock speed, basically 2610 megahertz, and the default is 2595 megahertz. So yeah, kind of makes sense. And this is the more of a MSRP model. I would say the Ventus 2 times, basically 2 fans. And yeah, they're looking quite identical, because usually Gaming X version have the RGB, but this time they're not including the RGB. So I wonder why they have decided to go with non-RGB, because this one makes sense. Ventus never had RGB, but Gaming X always had RGB. So that kind of surprises me that they didn't go for any RGB here. So interesting. But anyway, so yeah, the RTX 4060 is coming up, and well, we'll see how well they perform or how bad they perform. And next up, we have an interesting story here. Well, not interesting, just a trend that we're looking at. That is, Inno3D has also made their RTX 4070 and RTX 4060 with hidden power cables. That's right. So we've been seeing that AX Gaming also done this something like this hidden power cable thing, similar to the Gigabyte. They also did something hidden, though that wasn't really hidden. That was more of a better reroute system. But well, Asus did their proprietary PCIe connection for their hidden connection, But Inno3D's approach is similar to the AX Gaming. Yeah, basically, as you can see that the card, well, this is the connector right here. So basically the cable comes from here and connects it, which is similar to what I've told you. The AX Gaming had a similar kind of approach where you could have an extra shroud that covers that. Whether for this one, as you can see, it doesn't really have any shroud, rather it's kind of exposed, but still it's not visible as long as you're not looking from the top, right? And usually nobody looks from the top anyway, so yeah, that kind of makes sense that it's gonna stay hidden. So they really have their GeForce RTX 4070, the 4060 Ti, and 4060 all will have this similar design. And well, you might want to ask, what's the advantage of having, you know, a hidden power cable? So basically, it doesn't look bad. That's the simple way to put it. It doesn't look bad, and well, I've said this before that more OEMs or companies should do this approach because, you know, it aesthetically speaking, it looks good, and in terms of, you know, rerouting the cable, it also takes less cable, so that is good. That's why I believe this approach should be a good approach and should be taken from now on, because it doesn't bother any, you know, any kind of PC hardware, so it shouldn't be a problem for the companies to do this, because, you know, if they're capable of doing this, they should continue doing this. It looks better in my eyes.